Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 11 of the F1 2005 mod career mode, where today we're here for the Italian Grand Prix and really looking forward to this one. But once again, well, it was back to normality there. The McLaren's locking out the front row there. Ferrari looking strong obviously at their home Grand Prix there with the Renaults looking at the third row. The Toyotas looking at the fourth row there. So the top 8 consisting of just 4 teams there. We can only wrestle Red Bull up into P11 there, and this track really does not suit this car all too well, but obviously still hoping we can get off to a good Grand Prix today. Obviously now in the driver's standings we are very close to Kimi Räikkönen there, and also we've now jumped Joan Pablo Montoya in this championship. But it's going to be a wet race here today at Italy, and obviously hoping we can still get off to a good race. The wet conditions generally do seem to suit myself better than the AI, but obviously Italy is not your standard track. I think we can all safely agree in Formula 1. But here we are then on the grid. It is 5 lights here for the Italian Grand Prix. It's 5 lights and away we go there, and getting off to a much better start than Mark Webber there. The Toyotas both bogged down, causing Sato to have a little bit of issues down in towards turn 1 there. We get squeezed out on it to the grass. We're going to find myself a little bit of a passageway on the run down towards turn 1 there. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact made between a couple of drivers there round the outside of Fernando Alonso. We go there, dipping the back end out even with the traction control there, and on the exit of turn 1 again, fantastic drive there down the inside of Rubens Barrichello here in the Ferrari. Yes we do. And now up into P5 of the Grand Prix. We think about going for a move on Räikkönen there. He goes a little bit defensive. We're going to swoop round the outside there, and 7 places made up in the first sector of the Grand Prix there. What a fantastic start that ended up being through the first couple of corners there. Really just found myself a bit of clear air. The AI all seemed to, trip over each other through the first couple of corners there, and there was a huge element of luck, but we weren't able to make it work there. And now up into P4 of the Grand Prix there, and as I said, really couldn't have asked for much of a better start to this Grand Prix. Ahead now of Kimi Räikkönen, who obviously still does lead this championship there, and we are really within a good shot of winning this Drivers' World Championship. Really taking the fight to the McLarens in the second half of this season. But still 5 races to go in this championship, and now on to the end of lap 2 there. The start of lap 3, Giancarlo Fisichella is all over the back of Michael Schumacher there, and that Renault even is very quick down the straights there. Struggles a bit through the corners, but yeah, I think the fastest car down the straights in this series there, and he is still all over the back of Michael Schumacher. And now as we come out of the first chicane, we're closing up to these guys. We're a bit better on the traction. The AI really do struggle in semi-wet conditions with the traction control there. And now on towards the end of lap 4 there. Yellow flags were out. I think there was one driver making a bit of a mistake there. Nothing too much to report on there. But we've got now Kimi Räikkönen all over the back of me once more at this stage of the day there. Schumacher is, almost starting to hold us all up just a little bit here. I was struggling a bit in the dirty air there. And as one Schumacher retires, the other one dives it into the pit lane there. So Michael Schumacher into the pits he goes there, as well as Kimi Räikkönen out from behind me there. So both those guys now diving into the pit lane there. We're going to try and go a couple of laps longer in this Grand Prix, and now all over the back of Giancarlo Fisichella once more at this stage of the day there. Once again though, the traction control just seems to break away in the lower gears there, and it's a little bit weird because, well, once the traction control goes, the car is completely gone there. It only sort of breaks away once you get the car over a certain angle there, and well, once the traction cuts off, you're basically in a spin there. But yeah, on the end of lap 5 though, diving in to the pit lane here, and well, Montoya is going to be able to come out comfortably in the lead of this little group of cars. There are a few more drivers that opting to stay out there. Heidfeld and Jacques Villeneuve there, both staying out there, but unfortunately we get held up behind Rubens Barrichello there, and well, we don't get held up behind Rubens Barrichello there. We get released straight into his path there. Somehow, obviously, well, unfortunately the way the ghosting system worked meant that we were able to get out of that. But yeah, Michael almost running into the back of his teammate there, as there's a huge cluster of cars there fighting away with the back markers there. Michael Schumacher and most notably Kimi Räikkönen there is still stuck behind Thiago Montero there. What a fantastic job he's doing for me there, supporting the little guys there. We go past Rubens Barrichello there, obviously, after he just was able to jump me in the pit lane there. And now all over the back of Kimi Räikkönen once more in this Grand Prix there. We're going to dive it down the inside in towards this second chicane there. We made, well, it's the second overtake of the day made on the McLaren there, cut across him through the second part of the corner. Make sure that we're absolutely committed to making it out of there. And now we're all over the back of Montero there, but not for much longer. Makes a bit of a mistake through Ascari there, making a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact with myself then. Not really too ideal there. But yeah, now back up into P10 of the Grand Prix here. Obviously, the top 8 do score points in this championship. And now, you know, we really do need to try and close back up to Michael Schumacher at this stage of the Grand Prix there as we come through the next couple of corners, though, making sure, you know, we try and keep the back end nice and planted there, because as I was saying, you know, in these wet conditions, the traction control can really just cut out so abruptly, and well, completely cut out the power even so abruptly there, and obviously you want to try and reduce that as much as possible there. On to the end though of lap 6, and well, a few more drivers are diving in to the pit lane at this stage of the Grand Prix there, and now back up into P9 of this race, but closing up to Michael Schumacher as well in that Ferrari car, almost 220 miles an hour down towards turn 1 there. You're hard pushed to do that with the 2017 cars there, and it's Giancarlo Fisichella actually getting held up by Patrick Friesacker there, which is really ideal for me once more. They get a fantastic drive of turn 1 once again there, and are we going to be able to try and have a look down the inside of the Ferrari there, gets in the toe of the Renault and able to, you know, well, come back and be a little bit there. We unfortunately have to back out. Schumacher squeezes me down into a very tight gap at that stage of the day there, and now goes defensive on the exit in towards the first Lesmo there, and unfortunately, well, nothing we're really going to be able to do around the outside of him there, so have to hold on to the position there. Schumacher he just knows how to park his car exactly where he needs to there, and now on the exit of the second Lesmo here, we're still all over the back of Michael Schumacher here at this stage of the Grand Prix there, and now down in towards Ascari there. Giancarlo Fisichella is out of the Grand Prix there, and well, we nearly run into the back of the Renault driver there. That was certainly a heart-in-mouth moment. Watch that on the replays. We just about spot the Renault car there. Michael Schumacher brakes, so we weren't going to be able to follow him through there. And, well, we just about keep the car facing the right direction there. So much overcorrection there. Tank slapper. And, well, Giancarlo Fisichella, unfortunately, is out of this Grand Prix there. And we got more yellow flags out at the final corner there here through Ascari there. There's another car pulling off to the wayside here, and it's Juan Pablo Montoya has retired from this Grand Prix. The safety car has come out as well there, which has really worked out well for a few drivers that opted to dive it into the pit lane there. Nick Heidfeld, and I think that was Felipe Massa there. Both, you know, benefiting absolutely massively from that safety car there. But that means we're now back up into a net P2 of the Grand Prix there. And well, look who is in the net race lead. Michael Schumacher. We've got Jacques Villeneuve and Christian Albers yet to pit in this Grand Prix. Yeah, Michael now is effectively in the lead, and by the end of the safety car period, he's in the lead of this Grand Prix. Ferrari, 5-time reigning drivers and constructors champions. They have yet to win a Grand Prix this season, and well, this could be their golden opportunity to do so. But, you know, we've been really strong on the end of safety car period so far in this season, and now we're all over the back of Michael here. What are we going to be able to do? Could we take, I think, our second race victory in a row here, obviously after Hungary last time out? We'll have to wait and see though, but Michael Schumacher is going to be leading the way. Tifosi will certainly, you know, well, I think it's safe to say we know who they'll be rooting for in the final few laps of this Grand Prix there. But down in towards the final corner there, and Schumacher really parking the field there, but he does get away fantastically well there. Jumps me off the start there. Unfortunately, the traction control kicks in for the Ferrari driver there, and if that hadn't happened, he was really going to be able to utilise that so well there. But we're now in the slipstream of Michael Schumacher down to the inside in towards T1 there. Where are we going to try and brake there? Brake just at the same point as Schumacher there, but can't get the car slowed down in towards T1. They're going to have to cut over that, well, through that first corner there, losing the back end. The traction control cuts in there, and we get a 3-second time penalty from that move there. Not really too sure, you know, didn't particularly feel that was completely fair there. Unfortunately, you can't get full crank lock on in these 05 cars, which meant, you know, we weren't able to navigate my way through the chicane completely fair there. So, well, we're going to have to take that 3-second time penalty on the chin and really now try and focus on closing back up to Michael Schumacher here. But at this late stage of the Grand Prix, you know, the confidence was really just so strong in this Red Bull. It felt so planted at this stage of the Grand Prix. One lap later, all over the back of Schumacher once more. It's just like last lap once again now. Are we going to try and brake a little bit earlier down in towards T1 there? Cut ahead of Schumacher once more there, and we do get it parked nicely in towards T1 there. And now we've got 3 laps to pull out a 3-second gap to the Ferrari behind me here, and this could be absolutely critical. Michael has still got a chance to win this Grand Prix there, but by lap 12, and while we'd already pulled out a 3.2-second gap to Michael Schumacher there, just as I said, the confidence in this Red Bull now with 2 laps to go was really, really strong here as we now come through turn 1 and turn 2 once more there. And yeah, well, we've got 2 laps to go now pretty much to hold the gap there. But now on to lap 12 of this Grand Prix. Schumacher locks up in towards Ascari there, drops it on the exit, and well, he is out of the Grand Prix there. Collides with Fernando Alonso there. 2, you know, really guys, you know, have yet to win Grand Prix this season. And what was Michael Schumacher doing there? Runs it wide, and poor, I think there was actually Giancarlo Fisichella even, unfortunately there, retires from the Grand Prix there. And well, that was really, really gutting for Michael Schumacher there. And if I'm not mistaken, that mathematically now means that Michael Schumacher cannot win the F1 2005 Mod Career Mode Championship there. But through the final corner we go to win the Italian Grand Prix. We're not too fussed about that. We take home the race victory there. And we came P2. That's well, I'll tell you guys now, that was actually a bit of a bug I found, because, well, it decided to give me 2 penalties from the one mistake we made down at the first corner there. Obviously, when we ran wide down at T1, they had to go through the chicane there. And, well, it's given the win to Kimi Räikkönen there, but we're going to give the win back to myself there. You know, a little bit of biasness in that, I'll openly admit that. But yeah, Kimi, I think, you know, it was a bit of a bug, and, well, we're going to claim that race victory for myself there. So albeit the game isn't showing it, we are going to give ourselves the 10 points from that race result there. And, well, I'm not too sure McLaren would be too happy from that, but I think it's only fair and right there. But yeah, have a look then at the end race results that, as I said, yeah, we for some reason got 6 seconds worth of time penalties there, and still only lost the race by, what was that, 7/10 of a second there. But yeah, Räikkönen is still in the lead of this Drivers' Championship there. 68 points to my 66 there. Joan Pablo Montoya, with that retirement, now finds himself 13 points back from myself. 15 behind his teammate there, with Fernando Alonso just 1 point behind him there. Rubens Barrichello, with that podium, elevates himself comfortably back up now into P5 there, with Giancarlo Fisichella in P6. As I said, Michael Schumacher still mathematically just about has a chance to win this Drivers' Championship there, but those 10 points could really, really have helped him out in this race there. But having a look at the Constructors' standings, well, McLaren still lead 29 points clear of Renault there. We're Ferrari 10 points behind them. We're now just 14 points behind Ferrari there. And now we've got more points than every other team behind me there. Sauber finally put points on the board there with a fantastic double points haul for their team. But yeah, hopefully, you know, you guys have gone on to enjoy this video. A little bit of controversy all up and down the field there. But thank you all so much for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And hopefully I will see you guys next time for the Belgian Grand Prix.